What's up, internet, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to achieve a blue smoky eye like this one. Firstly, I just fill in my eyebrows and sort of gel them up, but you can do your eyebrows however you want, I guess this is dependent on the person's eyebrows, so just do your eyebrows how you please. I try to make them pretty thin, that way I have a lot of eyelid space to do the eye look on, but this is dependent on your eye shape as well, so just kind of do it how you want. Next, I'm priming my eyelids, and I use this milk primer for that. You can use whatever you've got. You don't even really need primer, but this will help everything stick and last a lot longer, so I do recommend it. Next, I add a little bit of under eye cream. This is obviously optional, you don't gotta do this, but I just like how it feels. Next, I carve out my brows, and I only do the bottom part, and I wait to do the top until I do my base. And while I do this, I also add the concealer all over my eyelid to kind of prime it. I know some people got like eyelid primer for their eyeshadow, but I don't have that, so concealer will work just fine. Then I just blend it out with a fluffy brush. You can use your finger or a beauty blender, whatever you want. Just make sure it's evenly distributed all over your eye. Now I'm using a white liquid pen to sort of enhance my brow bridge, but you can use literally anything super light for this. You can even just use highlighter or white eyeshadow, whatever you have available will work. Whatever it is you ended up using, make sure to apply it to the inner corner of your eye as well. Like I said, whatever you have available will work, so just use, yeah, whatever you got available and kind of put that I'd say make it pretty bright on the inner corner. Of course, this is dependent on your eye shape as well, so kind of just do it how you want to do it and make sure to dab it out a bit to blend it. Once you got that all set, use a black eyeshadow. I use a black from this palette and use sort of like a small dense brush, but still kind of fluffy, and apply that in the outer corner of your eye. And make sure not to overlap it onto the white too much. Just dab it kind of right outside of the eye. And then use a fluffier brush to sort of blend that out just as much as you can, but make sure to blend as you apply eyeshadow. So every time you apply eyeshadow, blend it out a little bit. I now add a little bit of white eyeshadow where I put the cream because I don't want it to crease too much. So if you have a powder on your eyes rather than like a liquid white pen like me, then you probably won't need this step. So I'm just adding more and more black and blending it out just until it looks kind of smoky. And this is why you have to blend it out as you apply eyeshadow, and make sure to dab your brush before you apply it, just so there's no excess that kind of runs down your eye. And then, yeah, blend it. And I would blend it in a little bit to the white, but not to the point where the white is completely covered. If you get any mistakes like these, just wipe it away and then blend it out with your brush again. It really doesn't matter too much. As long as you have a clean, fluffy brush, really you can blend everything out. And make sure your brush is also clean with no excess eyeshadow on it when you're blending it into the white. Now that I have the black base down, I'm going to add a little bit of tape and make sure to run this through your hand a bit before putting it directly underneath your eye. Now I sort of add the black eyeshadow against the tape to sort of create a wing, and I just continue the same process of patting black eyeshadow and blending it out. Then take the lightest blue available to you and make sure to use a clean brush as well, similar to the one that you used for the black eyeshadow, preferably the same one. I used the same one, I just cleaned it off. And then you want to tap it slightly above the black and also overlapping on the black. And do the same process of blending it out, but make sure not to use the same brush unless it's clean. Make sure not to use either of the same brushes, okay? You don't want to use the same brush you blended the black out or applied the black with. So make sure they're clean or they're separate brushes. But once again, I'm doing pretty much the same process, only this time I'm applying it a lot higher. Now I'm using a darker blue and applying it right onto the same area I just applied the lighter blue, but I'm not blending it as high, so I'm pretty much applying it where I applied the black. It's sort of supposed to create an ombre effect, so light blue at the top, dark blue in the middle, and black at the bottom, and then white in the corner. So that's kind of what you're aiming for here. And then I essentially just dab blue and black. So here I'm adding black over top of the ombre I just created, and I'm kind of adding it to the side of the tape so it creates a bit of a wing. Then I just continuously blend that out until it looks blended enough, until I like it. And once again, this depends on your eye shape. So where you apply the tape depends and whatnot. So really just do it how you feel like it. There is no rules to makeup. Now I'm using a shimmer. I just got this one from the dollar store, but use whatever you have available, whether that's a highlighter or really light eyeshadow or shimmer. Anything really works. But I'm applying this where I applied the white. I also used the shimmer on my brow bone just a little bit, kind of to act as a highlighter and kind of just to blend it all together. Once you're satisfied, you can remove the tape. Now I'm curling my eyelashes. Make sure to be careful if you're curling your eyelashes because it can sometimes mess up the makeup. And then I just apply my mascara, and you can use lashes if you prefer lashes. I know that sometimes lashes look a lot better with these kinds of heavy looks, but I just wanted mascara for this one. This step in my books is crucial, but I'm using a black waterline pen just for my waterline, the under part. And yeah, I'm just applying that. You can use whatever you got, but I definitely recommend a waterline pen for this. For skincare, just use what you got. This is not really a tutorial for base makeup, but I thought I'd include it in the video anyway. I just use a toner, a couple serums, a lotion, and then primer. So use what you use. I don't know. I just do your base how you usually would. Now I'm using the same primer I used for my eyes, and I'm just putting that everywhere. Now I'm carving out the top of my eyebrows. I know a lot of people like to do this step while they do their eyeshadow, but I like to do it while I do my base. And then just add your foundation. As you can see, I'm using concealer instead of a foundation because I don't even have one currently, so at least one that matches my skin tone, so that's why I'm using this, but it works pretty well, so yeah, use what you got. Then I use a little bit of blush. You can do whatever you want, blush, contour, whatever it may be. But yeah, I just didn't want to do that for this, but obviously, you do you. Now I just add concealer to my under eye. You can use whatever I don't know, okay? And then I just blend that out. Then I just use a setting powder for that, and you can apply this all over your face depending on what you typically do. Like I said, this is more tutorial for the eye makeup, not really the base. So yeah. Now I'm using that same white pen and I'm putting that in the corner of my eyes, and you can use a highlighter or whatever you used really, and I'm just kind of blending that out so it's not so crazy looking. And then I use a highlighter and put it right where I put the white, and I put a little bit on my nose as well. But yeah, the highlighter in the inner corner is pretty crucial, so make sure to do that step. Now I'm adding mascara to the bottom lashes. Obviously, you don't need to do this. I know a lot of people preferably don't like this, but I do, so I'm just adding a little bit. Then I'm adding a little bit of wing liner. I should have done this earlier on, but I'm doing it now, so yeah. And yeah, just do your eyeliner however you like it. I also decided to add a little bit of blue mascara. Yeah, it doesn't really do much though, so at least over top of black mascara, but so it doesn't really make much of a difference. This is optional, and then I add some setting spray just for to top it all off. I could not make up my mind about my lips, so I kept adding stuff. Firstly, I added a red lip liner, and then I didn't like it, so I used a lipstick as a lip liner, and then I also didn't like it, so then I, like, filled in my lips, and then I still didn't like it, even though it looked fine looking back, but then I used a darker red, and I lined my lips once again. I still didn't like it, so I applied all of the red, and I was still like, "This is not dark enough." So then I used black eyeshadow to act as, a lip liner. But you can do your lips however you want. This is also optional. Like I said, the video is really about the eyeshadow itself. And that leads us to the end of the video. This is what mine came out to turn. Oh fuck! This is what mine looked like. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Anyways, have a really good one, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.